of all, congratulations. You're part of the best show ever. So much fun. We know it's a super secretive show, but was there anyone who you told who you were on this season?
Well, first of all, when you sign up to do this, they asked actually a long time ago to do it, and I said no because I was too busy. And now, unfortunately, with this pandemic that's been taking over the world, they asked again, and I thought, what the heck? I got nothing else to do. When you sign on to this thing, the secrecy is unbelievable. I mean, you sign papers, you can't tell anybody, you can't do this, you can't do that, on and on. When I started trying to figure out what songs I'm going to do, my son, Brandon Jenner, he's got his own band, he's a great singer, he writes all his music, he produces music, he's got his own studio. I'm thinking, I gotta call Brandon. I gotta sing in this thing. I need some help. I'm not a singer, I need some help with these songs. So I spent a lot of time with Brandon, and he really helped me out in the studio. In fact, you have an earpiece in and to hear the music. And he put a track together to where he's in my ear talking to me as the song is going. Because Kesha, there's a lot of timing stuff going on, okay? And so I could hear my son in my ear going, okay, ready, 3, 2, 1, boom, and hit it. So try to hit all your marks on the song. And so that was kind of very cool. The only other two I talked to was because my family's kind of professionals at keeping secrets. They're very good at that stuff, and I can trust them. And so I told Kendall and Kylie, and their reaction was exactly the same.
Okay, Kendall and Kylie,
why are you doing this? I try to tell you guys to go out and take risks and do things. Why can't I do it? This is not my field, but it'd be fun. Yeah, so I'm going to do it.
You know what? Good for you. I love it. I saw on your Instagram recently, you posted that Kylie did your makeup. Okay, she's like the ultimate glam queen. What tips did she give you that have helped you the most?
Well, you know what? She's really about trying to get as natural as stuff that you can do your own. Especially this was more like everyday makeup and not just a glam makeup to go out to be on camera or something like that. And honestly, we had a lot of fun doing it. Now, for my YouTube channel, I'm trying to talk her into me doing her makeup.
I love it.
What do you think?
I love it.
What do you think? Yes. We haven't shot it yet. We haven't shot it yet. She's kind of busy. She has kind of agreed to it, but that would be the next one. I would do her makeup. And don't tell her I've never done anybody else's makeup before in my life, but I could start with Kylie, Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great idea. When I think of your daughters, and we've seen them really grow up, and they were so young when we first were introduced to them, how proud are you of all their success? They've really come into their own, and they're really successful in their own right.
As a parent, when you're raising kids, you do your best job. I think the most important thing as a parent in raising children is not only the things you say to them, but you have to kind of lead by example, and the way you conduct your life, your work ethics, your health, how you take care of your health, the way you treat other people, I think is really important because you never know quite what they're going to do. And one of the things I really like about the show is, honestly, I have the greatest home movies, the best edited home movies of anybody in life. And the early episodes when Kendall and Kylie were like 10, 9 years old, and not knowing, and even the other girls at that time, not knowing where their lives were going to go and what they were going to do with their lives. Because every parent, that's what you worry about. You want them to get, go hopefully the right direction. I'd have to say now, so many years later, and the show entering its final season, I couldn't be more proud of my kids, of the type of people they turned out to be. They're kind. They have a good soul. They're extraordinarily hardworking. And from a parent, that's all you can really ask for. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you mentioned Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Obviously, tonight starts the final season. Are we going to see any cameos from you this season?
Yes, I am in the final season. I can't say exactly where, but yes, I am in the final season. Actually, they put the teaser out, I think today. And yeah, they actually had a piece of me, so I made the cut.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll be watching for you.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, yeah, it is a little sad. It's kind of an end of an era of that show because pretty much the kids have been on it most of their lives, and but they're all good. And who knows where? I don't think you've seen the last of that group, the Kardashians and Jenners. I don't think you've seen the last of them. I think they're going to stick around for a while. Yeah. What they do, I don't know.
I would bet money on that for sure.
Yes, I would too. Yeah. Yeah. Chris leading the pack. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite memory from, since 2007 that this has been going on? Do you have one standout memory from taping that show?
It's not one memory. It is what I like in looking back on the show. I love seeing the early episodes, especially like Kendall and Kylie, probably most of all, because they were so young. They had no idea what their futures were going to be. To me, that's really cool to see them grow into successful, mature, intelligent human beings, and that's the best thing for any parent. See where they're at, and so yeah, I mean I couldn't be more proud of them.
Okay, I got one last Keeping Up with the Kardashians question, and then we got to get back to Masked Singer because I still got to hear all about that. So the show has been so revolutionary it was really the first time we saw so much honesty in a family, and we saw into people's real lives. Are they going to keep up? Is the plan to keep up with that theme through this final season? Will we see what's going on with Kim? Obviously, our hearts go out to her and her situation. Are we going to see all of that play out?
I think you will. I have not seen. I just know the scenes that I did. But first of all, Kim. I love Kimberly. Honestly, I love Kanye. I had a very good have had a very good relationship with Kanye. I wish them both nothing but the best. But as far as speaking about that is their story to tell, not mine. And I think you might learn some things in the final episode. I wouldn't be surprised, although I haven't seen the show, but I do remember shooting scenes. Yeah, I think it should be pretty interesting.
Okay, back to you and being the Phoenix. The show has the best costumes. What was it like getting to put on that Phoenix costume?
I think I had the best costume of anybody. It was over the top. Let me tell you, that show is so much about the costumes. And the costume designers, I mean, it was like a 2-month process where you start trying to figure out what you want to be, how you want it to go. Then they do sketches of what the outfit was look like. And I'm looking at the sketch and I'm like, you can actually do this? Then there was probably 4 fittings that you had to go through. And every time you went back, it got bigger and bigger and bigger until the final product. And it was unbelievable. I mean, the workmanship that goes into this, especially mine, the workmanship that goes into it. It's, I I mean, the costume designers are the true stars of that show. I mean, they were great. Yeah, they were great. Actually, inside of it, it was quite comfortable. They had done a great job with lining it, the way they had it. It fit perfectly. Yeah, it was quite comfortable. The only uncomfortable place is, putting, for a better term, the helmet on. Then it's a little claustrophobic and you can't see that well. And I got these wings that are out to here. I got to go sideways through doors and I can't see where I'm going. And I got help on both sides. I got a long train on the skirt and it's like not easy to get around in. Yeah. Yeah.
I loved the idea of the Phoenix for you because the Phoenix is something that's reborn. And I feel like that's just so symbolic for you and the rebirth of kind of you and who you've become. Is that why you picked that costume?
Yes. And also, I wanted a costume and a character that was kind of gender neutral. Phoenix could be a guy, it could be a gal. And so even in the design of it, originally they just had this massive skirt. I said, let's do like a half a skirt with a long train and do pants, so underneath it. And so it can be, again, a little bit, one, easier to get around in, and two, a little bit more gender neutral. And so, yeah, that was my idea in trying to develop this character.
I thought it was so interesting for you being on The Masked Singer. In your package before you sang, you talked about how you'd actually lived a lot of your life masked. And now once you kind of looking back on your life now, how free do you feel knowing that you're living an unmasked life?
There's nothing better in life than waking up in the morning and just being yourself all day. I did a book, Secrets of My Life, when I transitioned, and it tells all the stories of how complicated my life was back in the days. When you have personal feelings, but then you have family, you have all these other issues, you have society, you have all this stuff that you're trying to deal with. And it's a struggle. And, that's why, the trans community is the most marginalized community in the country. And people don't realize really what they are going through. So from my standpoint, to finally get to the point in my life where I can live my life authentically, but it just makes my life so much easier. Honestly, I just wake up in the morning and be myself all day,
Incredible.
And that's tough to do sometimes. Yeah. Takes a little longer to get ready in the morning, but I can deal with that. But after that, yeah. And it's amazing to me how accepting people are, it's been a wonderful experience. Certainly when you put in a substitute one set of issues in life to another set of issues in life, you still have issues, you still have things that you have to deal with, but it's so much easier to deal with it if you're just living your life authentically.
Absolutely. And I feel like you mentioned society and all that stuff. I think you have really broken barriers. We're now seeing so many more people in the public eye, especially here in Hollywood, who are able to live an authentic life, and the trans community in Hollywood is definitely growing. How proud are you knowing that you were kind of on the forefront and you allowed other people to speak their truth?
I think the entire community has that responsibility. It's not just me. I have a platform, okay, and it's different than other people's platforms. I come from a different place. I also did it at a much older age. The Laverne Cox of the world, she's got her own platform. The Janet Mox, you name it. They're out there. They have a platform. And I think we need all these platforms to get people to understand that this community we're not a bunch of crazies, you know? I've met some of the most amazing people in this community, successful, you know, I mean, just amazing people. And I think we need to encourage that. And what I've found, especially with young people who, unfortunately, the suicide rate is way too high, is young people have to know that there is a future ahead of me, and that these people, once they do go through it, all the stuff that they go through with family, friends, society, all these things, once they get past that, okay, that life is good. And that's one of the reasons I'd like to do shows like this. I like to be out there. Just because I transitioned doesn't mean I died and I'm just going to fade away. Okay, I'm still here. It's going to be fine, and set that example for other young people. You just got to get through it, because once they get through it, and all that baggage is like gone, you know, that they've been carrying for so many years, then they can get on with life, you know, and go do something, and, you know, be an entrepreneur, or go back to school, whatever it may be. You know, now you can go live a good life.
Well, Caitlyn, thank you for all you do, really, just by being yourself. It's really appreciated by everybody. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And congratulations on being on this show. We love The Masked Singer.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. It was a lot of work. Thank God it's over. Yes.